Hey, brother man, who provides for you? Let's just start right there. Who provides for you as a black man? This is the conversation I want to have, and I'm going to walk it slow because it's a fresh one for all of us. Okay? Black men are expected to provide for their families. Okay? And yet, black men are not set up to be able to provide for their families financially in terms of structure. Now, I'm not suggesting that black men aren't brilliant. Well, you know you are. Don't take that for granted. I'm not saying that that you don't make it work, make it happen. Of course you do. Okay? I'm not even saying that you've done something wrong. Absolutely not. But I need to talk to my family. I need to talk to my brothers and my sisters about the myth of what it means to be a real black man. Okay? So I'm going to encourage you to tag and share this live right now so we can have a real grown-up conversation about the conditions in which we live that is really unrealistic. Okay? So I'm Dr. Venus, your hot mess millionaire, and I have a profound commitment that you and I as a people, that we heal black love and we manifest millions together. All right? Now, in order to do that, we got to talk about some things. All right? And I have a live event that's coming up in May. I'll let you know about it as soon as I know more about it. But I want to get you started because it's a real conversation for those of us who are committed to thriving together. If you want to do it alone, you should leave me now. If you want to do it your way, you can't do it your way and have teamwork, okay? So if you are not committed to winning together, I am not your teacher, all right? Speaking of me, let me give you a couple of caveats. And I know some people get grumpy because I take too long to get started. Some people need to know who I am because they've never met me before, okay? So please be patient or go away. Not a problem. I won't love you any less, okay? No shade. I'm Dr. Venus. God, what can I tell you? I have grossed over 5 million in less than 6 years because I was willing to heal, okay? My background is pretty extreme. I used to live on the streets by the time I was 16, eating out of trash cans, sleeping in urine and beer. I was raised in violence. I was raised in a lot of bad things. Okay, my 9th grade math teacher was an answered prayer, saved my life. Because of her love, I eventually graduated from Stanford University with a second master's degree and a Ph.D. I have 4 degrees. I am an identity theorist. I am a thought leader. I am not a medical doctor. I'm not a psychiatrist. I'm not a psychologist. I'm a thinker. I'm a thought leader, and I'm committed to black people. My area of expertise is the intersectionality of race, gender, sexuality, and class. My research is from African slavery, Middle Passage to chattel slavery, and how that shows up and how we relate to each other and to money. So that's what I do. And I've been doing it for over 30 years. So for all people who don't know me, welcome, welcome, welcome. Everybody's welcome here. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Please share, please tag, please just get the word out. So that should handle that. Family, let's talk about this. So black men are positioned to take care of their families, and yet they've been blindsided, handcuffed, all kinds of things to not be able to. You already know that. That's not important to me. But let me tell you what's really salient. I'm going to say this slow. We'll walk it together. And I'm going to address this to my brothers real quick. Do you know, for my men, do you love yourself? Do you love yourself? This is for my men. For my women, you can participate, be respectful, okay? But I want to give them something that I think will make a difference for all of us, okay? See, black men, you're not rewarded for self-love. You're rewarded for producing results under all kinds of crazy conditions that nobody else has to deal with, right? And one of the things that happens when you don't love yourself, your sense of self is externally identified, meaning I am my car. I am my paycheck. I am my education. I am other people's approval. It's an external definition, okay? And I need you to understand it's not your fault. I need you to feel me on it, but I need you to walk this with me, black man. Because of the history of slavery in North America, okay, Black masculinity has been birthed in the belly of white supremacy. I'm not talking about Africanism. I'm not talking about hoteps. I'm not talking about religion. I am talking about masculinity, meaning that Black men, historically, I'm not talking about a person. I'm talking about a system. I need y'all to remember, I am a theorist. I am not talking about you individually. I'm talking about us collectively. This may not apply to all Black men, just like my work doesn't apply to all Black women. So please miss me on correcting me and saying that. I am not saying all anything. If it matches, let it feed you. Let it feed you. If it doesn't, let it pass. You don't have to correct me. I promise you. You can find fault with everything I say. Okay? It's fine. It happens all the time. Okay? Or you could give me a chance and let me feed you. It's your call. Okay? It's a love offering. So, because African men were enslaved and they were rendered helpless intentionally because they were the threat. Not the same way as women because of gender. Another conversation of the time. Black masculinity got distorted and turned into power dynamics. Think about it, okay? If the massa in a plantation household is getting all the food, people do what he says, he has the chariot, he has the horses, he has the cattle, he has all this stuff because he's the man. And the way he got that stuff was through violence, was through oppression, was through beating his wife to death because they could beat their white wives to death. Do you understand? So what gets seen and what gets taught is that in order to have value, you have to do something. You have to do something to get somewhere, to be somebody, to be respected as a man. Okay? The challenge with that is that it's rooted in oppression. So if you're trying to get what the white man's got and he has all the cards, you're going to lose. Do you understand? If you as a Black male, as a enslaved Black man, historically, have to work in order to eat, and he sets it up so that you never have enough to eat, you always have to work and you always feel less. I'm trying not to curse, Lord. I'm doing so good. So what I'm saying to you as a Black man, hear my word on this as a theory, not a truth. I'm fine with if you don't agree with me, but hear me out. Get an understanding before you say no. I've been studying this for a minute. I can help you if you let me. Because as an enslaved Black man, you were handicapped and rendered helpless in terms of taking care of that what you call your own family. Thank you, Deb, for saying that. Love you. Deb said I'm doing great. I love my women. I love my truth tellers. Your sense of self is directly tied to your ability to provide things that are external. But you are robbed of the chance. You're literally, as Black males, by the time you're in kindergarten to the 3rd grade, you are already directed to the prison pipeline. Look it up. Get your own revelation. Don't take my word for it. Okay? So if you're aggressive or perceived as aggressive, you start getting put out of school. You get put out of school. You miss days. That goes against your record. It's a whole thing. Okay? My point is this. Because white supremacy has trained you to believe that as a Black man, in order for you to be a real man, you have to provide, and yet they tie your hands behind your back, and you can't. You're designed to feel less than. That is a structure of oppression. Okay? My prayer is that you can hear that, Black man. My prayer is you can hear that, Black woman, because we don't always understand that we are part of the oppressive systems against Black men. No fault of our own. No, you didn't do nothing wrong. You just lived in white America. That's all that happened. Okay? That's all that happened. No problem. We're just waking up. So this is what I need Black men to hear. I need my brothers to understand is this. You are not your fucking wallet. You are not your car. You're not your paycheck. And you're not my ATM. And if you're with a Black woman who relates to you like that, fuck her. Because she doesn't know you. She doesn't know your spirit. She doesn't know your character. She doesn't know you. She knows what white people have taught us what success looks like. That's not who you are. You're not that. You're not your work ethic. You know what I'm saying? You're not. You're God wrapped in flesh. You are the Alpha and the Omega. You are the head and not the tail. You are the beginning and the end. You are the righteousness of God. And whatever God you can perceive. I'm not saying it has to be a white man with a beard in the sky. I don't pray to that God. My God is a gangster from 1930s. Whole nother conversation. We'll talk about it later. We'll talk about it at the event. Okay? But what I'm out for you to see is if you love yourself, What I'm getting is you. God, help me say this beautiful. Black man, help me. God, please help me say this right. Please help me say this beautiful. Please help me say this good. Let's pretend for a moment that you never made a dime, black man. Okay? Let's just pretend for a moment. Okay? And just walk this with me slow. All right? And let's just pretend that white people won. You never could get work. They always found that you were vagrant. They always made you wrong. They always found a way to pimp you for their money. Let's just pretend for a moment. Let's just take the worst case scenario. That's real. No, please share it. Thank you very much. Sharing tags is important. You are not your body. You are not. Help me say this, God, please. You are not your effort. You are not your work ethic. You are a spiritual being having a human experience. You are not your body. Okay? And when you understand that, it sounds basic, but I need you to understand this. You're not your body, but you have a body. You're not your feelings, but you have feelings. You're not your thoughts, you have the thoughts. You know how I know that? It's because if you could say that I had the thought didn't say it, you did. If you could say I had a feeling, the feeling didn't say that, you did. You're observing yourself. You're observing your own consciousness. So you're not your feelings. You're not your body. You're not your thoughts. You have all of those things. Okay? So if you could walk that with me for a few minutes, then you need to understand that who you are is a spiritual being. And if you understand you're a spiritual being, that means that you and I are already connected at the source of consciousness. And we have a similar wound. We have the same wound, baby boy. We have the same wound, baby girl. We have the same wound called chattel slavery. I could say the same thing for Jewish women and men. I could say the same thing for Israel. I could say that for any culture, right? But I'm saying it to you. And if you could take the case that I love you, not because of what you do, but because of who you are. If you could take the case that there are many black women on the planet who love you because of who you are, not what you've done. If you want my opinion about it, if a black woman really loves you, she becomes an entrepreneur so she can have her own money and not put that pressure on you. And I'm not saying I'm not saying you can't pay for stuff. I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying that it's not the same when it's an obligation versus a gift. Do you see what I'm saying? Like the black man who loves me, he's amazing. He's amazing. And he makes sure I'm always fed. He makes sure I'm taken care of. But that's a gift he gives me, not a requirement, because I have my own. So I love him because of who he is, not what he does. Now, what I can say in terms of provision, a lot of black women who are self-actualized, a lot of healed black women, a lot of black women who are healing, we're not needing you to pay our rent. What we're needing from you is a different kind of provision. I would like for you, black man, to expand your definition of provision. See, a real man who provides emotional comfort is priceless. A real man who provides spiritual covering is priceless. Do you understand? A real black man who does what he says because it's him being true to himself, not doing it because I asked him, is priceless. Do you understand? So I need you to hear this, that this whole position of being a real man means you take care of. No, that is white supremacy bending you over and make you grab your ankles energetically because they didn't set it up so you can. I'm not saying you won't. So please don't hear that. You can if you want to, but I need you to hear that structurally you have been set up to fail. And you think it's your failure. It's not your failure. It's America's failure. And it doesn't mean you don't make money. Doesn't mean you don't have a nice car. None of that's what I'm trying to say. But that's not who you are. That's not who you are. That's all God, please. You are not what they say you are. Okay? You are not trifling. You're not a bad person. You're not evil. You're not a threat. You are wounded. That's all this. You cannot not be wounded and be in America and be a president of African ancestry. Okay, so don't get offended by being wounded. Be a human being. You have a right to your feelings. You have a right to your failures. If white people can fail, if white people can have failures, how come you can't? How come not? How come you have to be better, bigger, badder than everybody else and still get the short end of the stick? Hear my word on this. I'm not coming at you. I'm standing for you. And I need you to understand that you have a lot of myths about masculinity that you inherited that are not your own. And they're designed to have you feel like shit. They're designed to have you never feel like you've made it. And you keep looking outside of you for validation, even in my love. My love doesn't validate you. Your love to you validates you. And I need you to love you. I need you to love you like you love your firstborn. You know what I'm saying? I need you to love you like you love your son. I need you to love you like you love, I don't know, football. I made it up. I couldn't tell you. You pick your own thing. My point is this. You are a worthy black man. You are an exceptional human being. You are amazing. You're brilliant. You're ingenious. You are God wrapped in flesh. You're everything right about being alive. And yes, you have wounds. So do I. Everybody has wounds, but you don't have permission to have wounds. I want you to know now, I declare and decree, baby boy, you have permission to have wounds. You have permission to be scared. You have permission to be afraid. You have permission to say, I don't know. And that doesn't make you less of a man. That makes you completely human. So I'm going to need you to humanize you to yourself. So we can love on you such that you thrive in a system that's designed to keep you down. Do you understand? Because you can win, but you can't win alone. Okay? We win together. All right? And it doesn't have to be romantic. It could be father-daughter. It could be son-son. It could be mom. So it doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be romantic. Healing black love is not necessarily romantic. It's healing us of the historical trauma that keeps us at each other's throats. We don't even talk to each other. Not in love, we criticize under the auspices of keeping it real, but I'm not doing it no more. Not to you, black man. I'm not doing that. So all I'm out to express to you, bro, is this. You've done nothing wrong. And I know you feel like you screwed the pooch. I understand that. You've been working from a deficit for 400 years. And you've done some foul shit. So have I. Please forgive yourself. Go make amends for the ones that can. And the people who don't accept your apology, that's their burden. I'm fine with that. Okay? But I'm not fine with you not being free. I'm not fine with you being trapped in a notion of masculinity that makes you jump over hoops and tunnels in order to just do basic stuff. No, you did nothing wrong. What we're working on together in my world is we're healing together so we can thrive together, so we can be emotionally and economically free together. I'm not saying we're going to all be kumbaya. We don't have to, but we can align because that's what our ancestors did. But they did not invalidate themselves the way that you do. And they don't punish themselves the way that you do. And you punish yourself. You punish yourself with different things. And I'm saying, you help me say it, beautiful God. Please give yourself some grace. If God can give you grace, can you please give yourself a little bit of grace? And if the people around you don't want to give you grace, then leave them. Not because you're being awful, but if some people are really committed to punishing you, there's nothing you can say to make it right. But if you're willing to do the work, if you're willing to do the healing, if you're willing to learn and grow, we can win at this. Think of it this way. If we pair black men's ingenuity and resilience with black women's strategic genius and access, and we leverage our buying power, we could win. It wouldn't take but 3 to 5 years. Okay? So hear my word on this. All I want you to know, bro, is I love you. You're amazing. You are the way, the truth, and the light. And I need you to love you the way God loves you. As a human being with flaws, who's doing the best you can for what you have. And I want you to know that some of us see that. And we love you for it. We love you for not giving up. We love you for getting up each time. We love you for forgiving. We love you for persevering. Okay? So please don't think you're alone in this. And I know some black women have hurt you. I know we've used our kids to punish you. I know we've called the cops on you. I know. I know we did that. I know we did that. And I apologize on behalf of human being, okay? And I know you've done some foul shit. I'm clear about that, but that was your wound. You are not your wound no more than I'm my wound. So if you can forgive me my wounds, I can forgive you yours if you're willing to put the work in. If you're willing to put the work in, we can do this. But I can't if you blame me. I can't if you turn it and you gaslight me and turn me into the enemy as if I'm trying to hurt you. No, I'm wounded. Just like you. You want me to have grace with you, baby, have grace with me. Give me the benefit of the doubt. My love is imperfect. As a black woman, is imperfect, but doesn't mean it's not true. So if we're going to do this together, we're going to have to grant some grace on both sides of the table, on both sides of the gender lines. Okay? And I don't care whether you're straight, queer, trans. If you're black, you're oppressed and you're wounded. Okay? The principle still applies. Even if you're not American, if you're African or Ukrainian, it still applies. We still have to do this. White people ain't going to give us nothing. But we don't need them. We need each other. But I need black men to really comprehend that you loving you and knowing that you're enough no matter what you have in your wallet, even if you have millions and millions of dollars in your wallet, that doesn't mean that you feel good about you. Look at how many black men, athletes we've lost who've had millions. Look at that. So you're not your money, but you are your heart. And if you're willing to do the work, I can teach you how to make the money. Money's the easy part, bro. I got that on lock. Money's the easy part. Healing, that's the real, that's the work. That's the work. But if you're willing, it can be taught. You should be entrepreneurial anyway. You should be an entrepreneur anyway because white people are never going to pay you what you're worth. LeBron James not paid what he's worth. He's paid what his owner gives him. Okay? So be mindful of that. Don't be seduced by the way it looks. You'll make more as an entrepreneur with intellectual property off of what you know, not what you do, more so than slaving at anybody's job. Okay? And I don't care if you have a record. I don't care if you're mad. I don't care. If you're willing to learn, I got you. If you're not, if you're going to fight me and turn me into your mama or your ex, then I'm not your teacher. But I want to teach you. I want to show you things that you can't get anywhere else. But it's your call, not mine. Okay? So that's all I got. If you feel by this word, please pay it forward. Bro, thank you for hearing me out. Thank you for being honorable. Thank you for being respectful. When my sisters, thank you for backing me up on this one. Okay? And for all my brothers, thank you for just give me let me love on you. Okay? My love is an imperfect love. It's a really imperfect love. All right? But that doesn't mean I can't take care of you. Doesn't mean I can't teach you. It doesn't mean any of that. It just means that I got an edge on me and you're going to have to be okay with learning from an imperfect human being who's committed to you thriving because I think we can do it together. But I can't do it if you fight me. Can't do it. Okay? Thank you, sis. Love you for her. Thank you, allies. Thank you for amplifying my voice. This is Dr. Venus, your hot mess millionaire. I'll give you some, stay connected with me. I'll put a link up. Make sure you join my list because when I drop this information about this live event, Healing Black Love, Manifesting Millions Together, is going to start on my list. So the link is venusopal.com/gift. You're going to get a gift about how I made my first million. Read it. It's my vision for women. Read it. But if you're serious about that life, if you're really committed to us financially and economically, emotionally thriving, I've already done 5 million. I'm not playing at this. You got to see if you're really serious to learn something. If you're willing to invest in yourself and in your community and each other. Okay? And the tickets will be on sale maybe in the next couple of weeks. That's all I got. Dr. Venus, love you, sis. Love you, bro. Love you, allies. Please, if you're fed by this word, it's like, give me a word. Please pay it forward. Okay? Thank you for allowing me to love you. This is Dr. Venus. Goodbye for now.